Hi guys, it's Gretchen. I want to make a really short video on being a play partner and joining some of our kids in how they're playing, because sometimes our kids play in ways that we might not understand, but it's important for us to understand that for some reason they're finding playing in that way very meaningful. So how do we join them and help them expand their play without coming in as a threat and without disrespecting them and what they find meaningful? I want us to think about us being play partners instead of play interrupters. So I have a lot of kids that really enjoy lining up toys, no matter what it is. So say a child's lining up blocks. I can come to them and I can just hand them the blocks. I hear from a lot of parents that professionals have told them to mess the blocks up so they can tolerate it. And imagine being a child and building a long, beautiful line, and then this person comes in and just knocks it over. It just doesn't seem very nice. Whereas if I'm handing you the blocks, they have this idea of, oh, this person understands that I find this meaningful, and it's building that trusting play partner relationship that will get you through some tricky times. So maybe I can then expand the play by holding the block up and challenging their visual system to look up and their arm to grab it. Or maybe I can add in a silly sound or something that they might find motivating, and then they begin to anticipate me making those sounds. But it's important to find meaning in what the child finds meaningful. So I have a lot of kids that like to shake things and visually admire them. And that can be sometimes a tricky way of playing to join, but I will often come in and shake something next to them. And when you do that, does the child notice you? Do they look over to see, oh, they're doing that too? Will they let you shake their item? Can you shake the item in front of them? Can you shake it over here and they'll look over here? Can you shake it over here and they'll look over here? And begin to challenge their play in that way. Another thing that I see kids do is rub certain parts, and I think of one little friend that I worked with for a couple of years that loved rubbing the carpet, and they saw me as a threat. I could not come near this child because I'm a little loud, I'm a little fast, and he probably looked at me and thought, she's gonna mess up my system. She's not gonna join my play the way that I want her to, so I'm just gonna run away. So for a while, I sat near him. Well, I sat a distance from him, and I watched him, and I watched and I waited and I wondered, and I was trying to find what he found meaningful. What did he find meaningful? Rubbing the carpet. So from a distance, I smacked the carpet to try to get his attention and started rubbing the carpet on the other side of the room. And I worked my way closer and closer and closer until he was tolerating and noticing me rub the carpet next to him. And then I paused. I raised my hand and I paused and I looked at him and I looked at my hand, and he pushed my hand down into the carpet. So now all of a sudden I have a back and forth. And so I'd rub and I'd lift it and he'd bring my hand down. And then I'd move my hand and he'd bring my hand down. So now we're playing. We have this back and forth interaction. I'm doing something that's meaningful to him, and now we're having a shared meaning. We were playing together. And from that moment on, I was less of a threat, though I still had to continue to read his cues to know where I could challenge him and where I couldn't. But we were playing together, and that's our goal. We want to be our children's play partners and not their play interrupters. Take care.